So things to think about. Let's go. Let's get straight into it. First thing is internet connection. Now this has got me before. I'm not gonna lie. So it's always important to have a secure internet connection. When you do anything performing, you want your internet connection to be cool. But again, coming from an Anoush perspective, not everyone has like good broadband, especially if you're from London or you're from like the sticks. Like I grew up in Windsor and then I moved to London. In both places, I've had terrible internet in both of those places. So I can't sit there and be like, guys, go with BT or go with Virgin Media. Like that's not, I can't tell you that, right? So a way to get around it is to get an Ethernet connection, which should come with, the internet box, the broadband box, whatever you call it. With that package, you should have it in Ethernet cable there, but you can get one for a fibre online. It is really easy to do. It is really easy to just get, and that the Ethernet cable essentially strengthens the internet because it goes straight from the the broadband box to your laptop or your computer, whatever you're using. Mobile phone, I'm sure there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, but I couldn't tell you. It's mainly for your laptop and your computer, just getting the internet from your broadband to your computer. So an internet connection is so important to think about. But like I said, not everyone is privileged to have a good internet connection. It is a privilege, unfortunately. I'm not going to get my soapbox just yet. But if you do run into problems, hotspot your phone. If you know how to do that, you just go onto your phone settings, turn on the 4G or 5G if you're lucky, and then just put on iPhone. Let me have a look at it now. On iPhone, it would be personal hotspot, but I'm not too sure what it is for your Android. If anyone knows, let me know. But you just put on your personal hotspot, connect to your computer, and then just continue. I'm lucky with iPhones because iPhones, once you have like an iPhone and a Mac, it just connects everything. So like sometimes you can even like copy and paste something and put it on your Mac. So when it comes to personal hotspot, I don't even need to find my phone. But if you've got like a different make of laptop or computer, it might take a bit of a second to like join it together. But just something to think about as to having a backup, because if you do have a spotty internet, it is always a good thing to have internet on your phone and spot it to your computer. Yeah. Or another option is have a designated person. So if things go wrong, like Sakara, when things went wrong in whatever performance we did in August, whatever that was called, just have a designated person to be like, hey, I'm the new host now. I'm taking over, and then get them to take over the hosting duties while you come back. So yeah, always have a contingency plan is the thing about that. All right, things to think about, things to remember. Access needs. This is where my disability advocate hat comes on. It is I say this at the end of this, but I'm gonna say it at the start as well, so it really gets in. You're not gonna get everything right first time round. It is the rubbish thing about disability access when it comes to supporting everyone's needs is that the information is not readily available within like societals, I guess. So, like I just discovered about easy reading, and even though I've always done easy read things because I used to work with autistic children. So I did easy reading things for them, but I didn't think, oh wait, an easy read guide for your performance. Like if you're doing a presentation, having an easy read guide is perfect. So, you learn new things every day. Do not feel like you need to get everything right the first time. Just do what you know. Try your best, obviously. Yeah, just go in with it heads on. So let's go through a few of them. The transcripts. Especially if you're a poet, that would be like a poem sheet or a lyric sheet. The transcripts are just there so people can follow what you're performing. Try and have it in the order of your like set list or whatever. But if you do decide to change it last minute and you just got, have a moment, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna perform this song because everyone is into fairies or whatever. Just make it aware. So say if you've got like the new song you want to perform, you're changing the set list over, just have your transcripts labeled very clearly and say, I'm now going to do insert song name here, so people can go, oh, that's not next page. There you go. So yeah, transcripts aren't there to be like everything that you say is scripted and you need to have it there. It's just so people can follow, especially because again with Zoom, the sound is not the best and it can suppress it sometimes. Sometimes you can't hear things, but it's just there so people can follow. That if you want people to hear what you're saying and they're not good at audio processing, that's what the captions are there for. Doing really well today. Everyone give a round of applause for the captions. If you are someone who has limited energy and you're thinking, oh God, having to transcript all my songs and all my poems, Descript is a free service. This is not an ad that allows you to say export as transcripts, and that's what it's there for. It's really, really, really cool, and yeah, really quick. It's quite accurate actually, so you don't have to make too many edits, but just go through it because sometimes it'll change a name or something. But yeah, excellent service. You can pay for it, which I'm thinking about doing, but it is for free. Yeah, no, Takara was completely right. Like, especially if you're someone that zones out, or again, if you have like an audio processing thing, it does help with comprehension, or even helps to come back to it. So say if you want to come back to this later, I'll have the presentation here so you can follow along. So yeah, again, live captions, why they're good. They're helping people follow along. You can use Zoom captions. I just found out you can use other third-party services for captions. I did not know this. That's pretty cool. It's called Rev. That's what Noli, CryptBody, and the Remote Body, CryptPlay and the Remote Body, goodness, CryptPlay and the Remote Body used for their performances. So yeah, you can use other services, but if you've got Zoom, professional Zoom is a really good way of going about that. Presentations are good. Presentations are fun. Presentations help people, follow along. And if you're someone who is a visual learner or a visual person, presentations are excellent. Well, presentations aren't always going to work because, if you're a musician, do you want to have a presentation of like why I wrote this and why I was sad? Not the most helpful, but depends on what you're doing. Image descriptions. Now, I'm putting my hands up. I suck at this so badly. I will start a performance and I'll be like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. And then halfway through talking, I'll be like, image descriptions. I am awful at it. If you are like me and you're awful at image descriptions, type it. Get someone else to type the image description in the chat. Or maybe get someone else to kind of be that person to remind you to say an image description. Now, I'm going to go to other forms of art. Say if you're doing a theatre production. That's harder. So like, I'm going to put my hands up and say, like, having, a transcript for, say, like a theatre piece or even a comedy piece is so much harder. So what you could do to circumvent that is maybe have a shortened version of the script, or like not the full script, but like what you're going to perform, have a version of the script available as like a view only file, because I know that there's a thing, I don't fully know, but I know that there's like copyright things that you can't always share script willy-nilly, and then if someone wanted to steal your version of the script, that's that's awful. So I wouldn't want that to happen to you. So maybe view only is an option for anyone who wants to put on a theatre production online on Zoom. And yeah, if you're like me and you have improvised sets, speak clearly, speak slowly, don't rush. If you're like I can talk quite fast, I'm aware now that I'm talking slowly, I talk faster than this. But if you find yourself rushing, just take a breath, stop, and just slow down so people can hear you. And then yeah, you're good. More access needs, video descriptions, and like I said, image descriptions on any media you show. I've not really done it for this presentation because I've only done like 2 pictures, but like if you have a presentation or a film or something where it's important to know what's coming next, then video descriptions and image descriptions are so important. This is a tip I learned earlier actually, is going back to why finding people on social media is so good. Try not to have things as speech bubbles. So it's hard for screen readers to read speech bubbles. I don't know why. I need to look into why that's the case. But yeah, I think it's maybe the shape or something. So if you're gonna do something like this, or you're gonna do a talk or a meeting or whatever, try and have things in as plainly as you can. But yeah, I learned that this week actually. So yeah, and Don't look at my post with a speech bubble on Passion Project, but that's beside the point. We've got easy read documents. I just kind of went over why they're good, but it's mainly for screen readers, so that rather than, have it reading an internet screen, having it just read a document is just so much easier and so much easier, so much more helpful for people. Flashing lights, mind anything that might trigger someone's epilepsy. I had a friend with epilepsy at university, and it's amazing. Like, you would think it wasn't even anything flashing, but it was something black and white, and I think it had like fluorescent lights, like a police siren or whatever, and that triggered her epilepsy. So just mind anything with flashing lights if you can. Maybe there are softwares on the internet or programs on the internet where you can run a video through it, and it will tell if it's going to cause an epileptic fit or any sort of sensitivity to light. So go through that. Maybe try and outsource it to someone who is experienced with that and knows how to tell. But that is something you got to be mindful of. And it's something that I was mindful of when I'm going to show some video examples later. Incorporate trigger warnings. Like at the start of this, I said there was a trigger warning of COVID. But if you're talking about something quite that could be triggering, especially at poetry, like poetry always brings out the worst in people. So if you when it comes to poetry or anything, incorporate trigger warnings, or even just talk about what you're going to speak about if you don't know if it's appropriate to involve a trigger warning, especially with songs and things like that, because you might have a lyric to you that's just like, oh yeah, it's whatever, but that lyric could be triggering to someone. So just be really mindful of what you're presenting and things like that. This is something again, an Anusha point, which I should put like a little picture, like remember the little clip guy that says Anusha point, mind swearing, because I swear like a sailor. I don't really sworn today, but mind swearing in your performance, because it can, again, that's another trigger. But also young children, you don't know where this person is who's watching your performance. Just mind swearing, it is something that everyone has a different opinion about, so there's no right or wrong answer with that, but just be mindful.